Hello my dear viewers, welcome back to Ruhoni Sewing. This is a sewing tutorial where we are going to make a shifted dress with a keyhole neckline design. As usual, these are the materials which we are going to use in this tutorial. Here we have the tape measure, we have the fabric scissors, straight ruler, pencil. I have here a colored pencil, white pencil, which I'm going to draw in a fabric. Okay, here I have the paper scissors. We have the patterns for the sleeve as well as for the bodice, back and front. These are the fabric. We have our fabric here, okay, and this is the lining. So here are the patterns. We have this a sleeve pattern, we have the back pattern, okay, and this is the front pattern. Remember, we have two pieces. We have the bottom piece and the top piece. Okay, so this is the top piece. Remember, we have drawn this, but I also made the bottom pattern for our front, which is this one from here. Okay, so now let us start with adjustment. We are going to make adjustment on the front bottom pattern. Okay, we want to make some adjustment here at the neckline. So we are going to draw a line, and we want to make sure that we don't have a loose neckline or a gap. Okay, so let us ignore the allowance line and draw a line here from the original line to the dot. Okay, so I've decided to draw almost at the center of the neckline a line straight to the dot, just like this. So here I've extended that line up to the end of the pattern so that it will be easy for me to cut. Okay, so cut up to the dot. So remember, because we do not have any other opening, the movement at the neckline is going to be very limited, and that is what we want. We don't want to alter our pattern so much. So try as much as you can to make sure that you move your pattern. As you can see from here, very limited movement, and put the other pattern on top of the other, and then secure it with a sellotape or mask tape as shown here. So after securing your pattern, then finish by cutting the rest of the pattern. So here are the two pieces of the front pattern. So next step, we are going to cut the fabric and the lining. Please remember to make sure that the right side of the fabric as well as the pattern, they are facing each other, and you'll be cutting from the wrong side of the pattern, of the fabric, or of the lining. So here are the pieces. This is the sleeve. We had cut two for the fabric as well as for the lining. Then here we have the fabric and the lining pieces for the back, and these are the two front pieces. So for our sleeve, put a mark at the center of the sleeve and a small cut as a mark to the fabric. For our back piece, remember, we are ignoring the dot, so put a mark at the center back where we are going to put a zipper. And for our front pieces, put a mark where we are going to join the neckline for the top piece as well as for the bottom piece. For the front piece, we are going to ignore the dot, but for the side dot, put marks on the fabric as well as the center of the dot, both at the fabric as well as at the lining. Okay, so now let us start with our front pieces. The top piece, we are going to start to take care of the neckline. Okay, making sure the right sides of the fabric and the lining are facing each other. Okay, so secure with pins first before you start sewing. So here we are, we've already sewn and cut the small cuts all around the neckline, as you can see. Okay, and now turn your fabric again for the right sides to face each other. Align well your fabric and the lining. Now after aligning it well, now sew from one dot to the other dot. Okay, so let me show you closely. Those are the dots where we've sewn from one dot to the next. So now take a scissor and make a small cut at the end of each dot, not all the way through, just like this. So insert your finger in so that you turn the inside out, just like this. Then take the bottom front pieces and take care of the darts. Here are the darts already taken care of. And now let us continue with the neckline. For the bottom piece, make sure the fabric and the lining, the right sides are facing each other, and take care of the bottom neckline. Here it is, that is our neckline. Again, take a scissor and make small cuts so that the seam can lie flat. And then turn your fabric inside out, just like this. Okay, just like that, and then iron. So after ironing, I sew at the side of the lining very near to the neckline so that our neckline will always be flat. So now you can see the one side of our dress has already been joined. So let me show you how I've done that so that you have the keyhole neckline. Okay, so first take your bottom piece and open it like the way I do here. Make sure the fabric has already been joined, the fabric and the lining, so open it like this, and then take your top piece, also open it like that. Okay, then making sure you see where we've put the dots, the lines, you remember. Okay, so you take the side of the fabric, you align it with the side of the fabric, and the lining, align it with the lining. So where there is a seam, make sure it aligns well with the seam from the top piece. Okay, just like this. Making sure you have aligned it very well, secure with the pin. You do first on the side of the fabric. Let us also secure the lining side. Make sure they are aligned very well. So after that, we are going to sew on top all the way, so that after that, when you turn it inside out from outside, that's how you are going to look at your keyhole, and from inside, that's how it is going to appear. Okay, okay, so here is our neckline. We've already sewn. First, let us iron. So one thing to remind you, when you are ironing, make sure that the seam is facing downwards. So as a reminder, when you look at our pattern, there is a curve. Okay, so take your scissor and make small cuts so that our seam can lay flat. Then make a stitch at the end of the keyhole neckline and also at the other end too. So now we are going to take care of our back pieces. Here they are, and we are going to take care of the neckline. So we have left 1.5 inch for our zipper. That's where your center back is, and that is our neckline. Okay, so attach the lining and the fabric and sew the neckline. So here we have already taken care of our neckline, as you can see, and so now it is time to attach the back and the front pieces. So we are going to attach them at the shoulder. Make sure they align very well, as I just did. So align well, as you can see from here. Take your back lining and your front lining, align them well. Make sure the right sides are facing each other. After aligning them well, attach with the pin first to make sure they are perfectly aligned, and then sew. After that, turn it inside out, okay, like this. You can see from outside, that's how it is going to look, and this is from inside. So now it is time to attach the sleeves. I've just joined the fabric and the lining for easy handling for the bodice as well as for the sleeve. So as usual, we are going now to attach our sleeve. We are going to start at the center of the sleeve, attaching it to the shoulder, center of the shoulder. Then we are going to attach the front and the back part of the sleeve with a pin first, and then we are going to sew. So like I said, after attaching with a pin, now we are going to sew. Okay, so here our sleeve is ready, already attached. Now turn your dress and we are going to sew the side seam. We are going to start from the sleeve all the way to the hem. Okay, so that now we have already sewn the seam, as you can see, from the sleeve all the way to the hem. But there's one thing I want to show you. As you can see, I've not sewn up to the end because I first want to overlock my seam before I can hem. By doing that, I'm only going to fold it once, but if not, I will have to fold it 2 times and it will be too bulky. Now we are going to install the zipper. Again, as it was with our sleeves, first we are going to overlock our hem and then fold it only once and then sew. Okay, so we have already overlocked. Now we are going to continue with our sleeve. Let us finish it. So now we are going to sew up to the end and then fold a 1-inch hem and then sew. Okay, so now let us talk about the hemming of our dress. We are going to hem 1 inch, 1.5 inch hem. Okay, but I do not want the stitches to be seen from outside, so I'm going to do it by hand. Okay, so now let us get finished with our zipper. So at the end where the zipper is starting, we are going to fold it, as you can see, and then we are going to sew at the top. Okay, either sew by the machine or by hand.